Hi, welcome to lesson 4 on this 5-part series. So before I give you lesson 4, let me just take you on a rundown through lesson 1, 2, and 3. Lesson 1 is that God does not hate you, and that if you can pay attention, you will see that God is right there reaching out onto you. Number 2 lesson is that grief is a messy business. Get all the help that you can, please. You can't do grief alone, so please get all the help that you can, because grief is messy. Lesson 3 is that you should not expect kindness from everybody. However, give yourself kindness. Now for lesson 4, I'd like to say one thing has nothing to do with the other. Yes, one thing has nothing to do with the other. So when you go through grief, it has a way of piecing together mishaps around you and making you feel like you're cursed. Now let me bring you into my story. A lot of you who know me know that my only sibling, who is my elder brother, lost his wife 5 years ago. So on the day when I learned that my husband had died, you could imagine what was going on in my head. Yes. 3 months down the line, my friend, who was my maid of honor, lost her husband. Now let me focus a bit on that story. The day I heard about Tiger's husband's death, I literally went frustrated. I was like, God, what is this? How can this be? And what I wanted to do was bury that story, like bury it literally, let it never even come out. And while I was in that frustration, God told me, Nelly, it's not about you. Reach out to your friend. She just experienced a loss. If you notice, I made a post on Facebook. I would normally not make such a post on Facebook when I can reach out to a person. But I did, because I was fighting a demon. I was confronting something that was fighting me. I had to put it out there by myself. Like I wanted it to be out there, embrace the situation so that I could actually allow my heart to reach out to my friend. Because what I was feeling like is, what will people say? How are people going to take this information? This. So they are going to think that there's something. There is not always something, please. That people around you have died in similar pattern does not always have to do with you. Let's not be that sensitive, please. So back to everything, let me also tell you. After my husband died in May, I came back to Abuja in June, and my rent expired in June. I paid for a house because I needed to move out of my house. I paid for a house, and before I moved into the house, I discovered it had a structural defect. So I had to look for another house, and I paid for another house. Meanwhile, I was unable to retrieve my rent from the other people. And you know how Abuja can be. Imagine that you're paying for two-bedroom flats. You can tell I just buried the husband, came back, and I'm going through this financial hassle. It was really devastating at some point. I sat down one day and I was crying, and I was just telling my friend, how can one person be going through this chains of misfortunes? And she was like, Nelly, please listen. One thing has nothing to do with the other. She said, any other person, whether your husband had died or not, you would have paid. You could have been in a situation where you paid for a house and then did not want the house later. She said, Nelly, but are you not even considering the fact that you're lucky that you've not moved into the house before realizing that it has a structural defect? She said, anyone could have gone through that. So stop believing that all of these things are tied. And I want to tell that to you today, that people around you or some bad things happens around you in a similar pattern does not always have to do with you. That people around you die. We know of people who have married again and again and the spouses die. Does it always have to do with them? It may not be. So let's bring balance to this message I'm trying to preach. If you think there's a need for you to pray or go for a deliverance, or there's a nagging feeling inside of you that these things are connected, fine. Go for prayers, do whatever you think is needful. However, I'm just trying to say they are not always connected. It may not always be about you. Sometimes it could be the work of those people and God. Don't forget that people have their own work with God. Don't forget that people have their own relationship. It is not always that when bad things happen, it is tied to you. You are not cursed. You are a blessing to anyone who meets you. So please, if you feel the need to pray, if you feel the need to go for deliverance, if you feel the need to intensify your fortification in the place of prayer or whatever it is, please do it. But don't tie yourself and begin to see yourself as the cursed lamb. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Okay? Please stay sane. You cannot carry this extra burden. Thank you.